with the boys, and I was a little nervous about going because this was the first trip that we've had, like leaving and sleeping in a hotel after COVID and everything. So I was like, of course, nervous about it. And I'm driving in bumper to bumper traffic, and I'm sitting in the car with the kids and my husband. And then all of a sudden, I just got like such anxiety, like, what if I get a pain in my stomach? What if I don't feel good?
Let's talk a little bit about that. So you've been dealing with something that have this fear of even like traveling and being away. What is the thing you've had going on?
It's like pain in my stomach, and it's like debilitating, and it makes me feel like petrified because the pain is like 100 on a scale of 1 to 10. So it's like, it must be like a muscle spasm or something. And I usually have a very high threshold for the pain, but it really overwhelms me and makes me feel like I can't go anywhere and I should just sit at home like a plant and never leave the house and not do anything, just play it safe because, I have that like familiar feeling of being at home and try to do what I need to do to relieve the pain. And it just really just overwhelms me to the point where I'm just like, maybe it's better not even to bother to go.
So let me ask you this, Rose, given the extent of what you're dealing with, what had you decide to go? Like, how did you get to even saying you're going to go?
Well, I felt like the kids and I have been in the house quarantine for over a year. And I promised them that once I got the vaccine, that they could live more normal. And I felt like I owed it to them because they respected my feelings and allowed me to feel comfortable in doing what I needed to do. So it was like their reward for being in prison and under house arrest. So,
yeah, but how did the practice of connecting even allow you to get there? Because as you're sharing this, I can tell just by your like fear, the fear that comes up for you, that probably wouldn't even be how you would think.
You're right, Indira. You're good. You're good. You're a good detective. I connected on if I should let them play, because from my mind, I was like, they shouldn't play. And we certainly under no circumstances should be traveling. And when I mean traveling, we're from New York and we're in Boston, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Orlando. I mean, travel. And so basically,
that's huge.
I didn't want to do it. And after the connection, I got, let them play. And all of a sudden I was like, boys, you're playing.
Okay, so wait a second. So you connected to what is there for me to
know about
unfolding my journey with the boys playing. And you got let them play. What was your mind saying? What was your mind saying to you? Because from yourself, you got let them play. That was the guidance
and it was like capitals. Let them play. Right. In capital letters. And from my mind,
what was your mind?
Don't let them play. They could get the virus. They could get very sick. We shouldn't go. There's still a small percentage that you could get it. You should never go. We should skip it. It's not going to matter anyway. They don't need to go. It's not necessary. So when I got let them play, I knew that wasn't from my mind, because my mind was like, stay home, read a book, never leave the house, lock the door.
Right. I got it. I totally got it. Yes.
But it wasn't, once I got let them play, it wasn't like a scary thing for me. It was like, that's what I'm doing. I'm letting them play. And then I was able to release the fear of they shouldn't go. Should they go? Yes. They shouldn't go. Let them stay home. Oh, let them go. That back and forth banter, that's like really weighs on your mind.
Yes. Yes.
So then I decided, I'm like, I got the email on Friday, and I didn't open it on Friday. So Saturday when we were driving, I'm like, financial abundance, this has nothing to do with what I'm worried about.
Oh, you mean
to be in pain.
In the membership? In the membership, you got an email.
Financial abundance. And I'm like, I'm not even going to look at this, because I'm not worried about financial abundance. I'm worried about, I'm going to be in pain. I'm going to be on the floor. The kids are going to be embarrassed. I don't know what to do with myself. And that just kept going on. And then in the email that I got, it was like, spend 5 minutes with your mind versus yourself. And it immediately calmed me down from like on a scale of 1 to 10, a full-blown 10, where I wanted to just jump out of the car in bumper to bumper traffic, to being able to just sit there and realize all these things I was thinking was just my mind completely bombarding me with things to make me scared. And I feel like I'm going to get choked up here. And it was kind of like abusive to me to even listen to that kind of talk. And then when I got from myself, you're in control, everything will work out.
Wow, that's amazing. So in the audio, which by the way, you listen to in the car.
Right, with my little
with your headset,
right here,
which was like 5 minutes.
What I was doing, right?
Which was like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
You went from I want to jump out of this car and like go away. I can't do this. This is too much. I'm overwhelmed. I'm fearful. I'm anxious. And you heard what from yourself?
Go. It'll be okay.
Yes. Go. It will be okay. But
I was 3 hours into a 5-hour trip, and I was just in bumper to bumper traffic, and I wanted to see if there's a way I could eject myself out of the car. I was like starting to get hot and sweaty, and I felt like I couldn't breathe good, and I was getting all the anxiety symptoms. And then I just listened to that, and it was like a light switch came on, and I was like, go, everything will be fine. And I was like, I made the connection that it was my mind poisoning me with all these untrue thoughts that was making of course, if you said to somebody all these scary things, anybody would be scared.
Yes. Yeah. But we are unaware, Rose, that our mind is doing this to us all the time. But watch, when you heard those words, I just want people to understand
everything will be okay.
Not just that you're hearing the words, you're literally, your body releases all the stress and anxiety.
All of a sudden, because like I'm in the car, I feel my stomach starting to tighten up, and I'm like, how am I going to use the bathroom if I don't feel good? And what am I going to do? And as soon as I heard that, it was like my stomach pain went away. I could start to breathe. I wasn't like hot and sweaty. I didn't need to open the window and try to stick my head out the door like a dog when you're driving in the car. Like it was just like a light switch. It went from unbearable to totally fine. Within just those that 5 minutes.
Yes. And guys, that's what it is when you do a connection, because in a connection, remember, you are switching from the mind to totally being in yourself, and your mind is going to keep that anxiousness and that fear locked down in your cells. And when you do those connections, your cells shift, and
my mind was telling me that I didn't even need to do that connection, because it was the recap of the week from the membership. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just see. I'm here, let me listen. I feel like I have to listen to it. And then afterwards, it was completely transformational. And I never even thought about it for the rest of the trip.
That's really great, Rose. That is such a demonstration of how
it was a
connecting.
Win.
Totally. Because we don't realize how much our mind is always on top of us until we do our connections. And only then do we get it, because we're so in it. I always say, from our mind, we're like a fish in water, and we don't see anything other than what the mind wants us to see. And when we connect, we can get that there is like another world where we can be freer, less stressful, less anxious, or we could see a situation totally differently. That was totally amazing. So then
I just want to say one other thing that's really funny is, for me, I'm always looking to hear from other people, like what a real life experience is. And I got to have one for myself, to how to use connecting in your everyday life in normal situations, like whether you're nervous about going to a doctor's appointment, or you're going to have relatives spend the weekend at your house, or whatever the case is. I was able to use it in a real life forum, where it's not like, okay, I woke up, I'm going to do my connecting. It was like kind of like on the fly, like I needed it so badly at that time, and it came to my rescue. And I feel like it's always going to come to my rescue when I go back to myself, as opposed to listening to what my mind says, because the mind always wants to scare me to death, no matter what the situation is.
I mean, that's so great, Rose.
I just wanted to share that.
I totally got it. And that's why this is a lifestyle. It's living your life from yourself. That is so amazing. So thanks for sharing that. So how was the rest of the weekend now with your boys and the trip?
It was great because every time my mind tried to sneak in, I was like, I don't need to listen to that. And I had a great time. It was a great time bonding with the kids and having it just be the four of us together and enjoying something that they enjoy and we enjoy also being part of. So it was great.
Well, you look totally fresh and relaxed. That's why I ask you. I'm looking at you and you look like so freed up from a situation that could be so reactivated. That's so great. Thanks, Rose, for sharing that with us.